everybody, welcome back to Technically Designed Home. My name is Marissa, and today we're covering part 2 of our mini-series where I discuss the pros and cons of the major smart home assistants. And today we're covering Apple's HomeKit and Siri. So if you're interested in knowing the pros and cons of this system, which I use as my secondary system in my apartment, then don't forget to smash the like button and subscribe down below and turn on the notification bell so you'll be notified when I upload the last video in this series where I cover Alexa. So without further ado, let's get into this review of HomeKit. Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. In case you're not familiar with how these reviews work, I cover the top 3 and the worst 3 features of products, or in this case, Apple's HomeKit. Today I want to start with my top feature and the reason why I use HomeKit in my apartment, and that is iOS native integration. Of all of the assistants, I think that HomeKit has the best integration into their product lines. Whether that is your iPhones, iPads, Apple TVs, or HomePods, HomeKit is automatically on the device and integrated right directly into the settings menu. You can also trigger Siri using either the home button or the power button, depending on which iPhone or iPad model you have, which allows you to gain access to Siri in order to control your home. Along those same lines, the second pro is the iOS ecosystem and automations. I think that without a doubt, HomeKit has the best native automations for your smart home. In this case, I use the geofence feature, which I mentioned in my Google Assistant video. Have you watched that yet? That is something Google does not support, but HomeKit does. What it allows you to do is create automations based on who is home. If no one's home or if you're leaving home, you can set triggers to turn off all your lights or to set a certain light to turn on and off in the evening if no one is home to make it look like someone is. That way you don't have to manually trigger on and off different automations based on who's home and who's not. It automatically knows that based on who is on your home Wi-Fi system. One of the things to know about this is that you have to have some sort of a home hub in order to enable certain features and enable access when you're away from the home. This can be simply set up by dedicating an iPad that stays at home all the time, or using a HomePod, or in my case, I use my Apple TV, which obviously is not going to walk away, as my home hub in order to control all of my devices when I am away from home. Now, the third and arguably most important feature of HomeKit is the security. Apple continues to tout their security over other competitors, and as we've seen in the last year or so, it's been proven that other products like Amazon Alexa may not be as secure as we think. So Apple's ability to keep all of its recording locally and to eliminate the needs for extra security and the risk of people listening in is a huge bonus, but also adds to one of the cons, which I'll get into here in a second. All right, so starting with the cons, the reason that the security of HomeKit becomes a con is it makes everything more expensive. Of all of the assistants, Apple's HomeKit supports the least number of devices, and especially the least number of speakers and now cameras, now that security cameras are becoming very important in homes. In order to control your HomeKit using an assistant, you either have to have an iPhone, an iPad, or a HomePod in order to have that speaker. The HomePod is the only native Siri-enabled speaker, unlike Google and Alexa devices where there are numerous different models, styles, and price points that you can get your home assistant speakers at. The second con is going to be a problem if you live in a household with people with mixed devices, meaning if you have both Android and iOS devices in your home. This is important to keep in mind because Apple's HomeKit has limited or no compatibility with Android devices. So that way, if you have household members who don't have an iPhone or iPad accessible, they may not be able to control your smart home unless you have an assistant or physical switches that you're able to control. Now, the third con, and admittedly something I haven't been able to test as much in the home, but definitely something that I've seen when controlling Siri from my iPhone alone, is that I think Siri is the least least competent assistant of the three major assistants. She consistently brings up incorrect responses or cannot give you answers to questions, or will pull up a link instead of actually reading you what's on the Google article up to answer your question, which is a pro that Google and I believe Alexa also supports, where it actually answers your question instead of giving you a link. So this is something to keep in mind if you are someone who's going to control your home with a spoken assistant like Siri. But if you're more into controlling it via the HomeKit app, I think the HomeKit app is one of the best apps for smart home control, and because it's natively in the settings of your iPhone or iPad, it's easily accessible for controlling your house. And that is what I typically do. So this was part 2 of our little mini series. If you haven't checked out part 1, I'll link it here above where I talk about Google Assistant. And don't forget to like this video if you are interested in smart home reviews like this. And subscribe down below and turn on the notification bell so you'll be notified when I post the third and final part of this series where I talk about Amazon Alexa. I hope to see you all again next week. And let me know what your favorite assistant is that you use in your home in the comments below. See you again next week. Bye guys.